All right. I got to call out SRAM here a little bit. I'm annoyed with them. A while back, SRAM bought Time pedals. I don't know if you know that, but they're under the SRAM brands. I can't remember exactly when it happened. I saw the news at the time, but it's been a little while. I've been riding Time pedals for years for mountain bike. I had broken something like my third set of Crank Brothers candy pedals, and every time it was like the spindles would just fall apart, various things. They just were not durable. And then I never liked that with my Time pedal or with my candies. It was like when you step into them, they just sort of mushed into place. Like there are times I wasn't sure I'm clipped in, I'm not clipped in. And I went to the shop and I said, hey, I need something better. And the shop owner says, hey, these aren't as common, but he said the Time pedals are bomb proof. You should give them a try. And I got a set of Time. And I'm pretty sure what they had on the shelf at that point was just the Time ATAC ATAC XC2s. And I bought a set and I rode with them and they were awesome. Much more positive engagement, much better feel, and no complaints. I'm still riding that same set of XC2 pedals 7 years later. Now, I can't say I'm riding. I don't know which bike they're on. They might be this set that's on my son's bike, or they might be this set that is on my daughter's bike. Those are the most worn. It's probably maybe those. Or it might be the set that is inside on a bike on the trainer. And then this set's actually been on a road bike. My son has been riding road bikes, and he doesn't have a separate set of road shoes at junior age. Too expensive to buy one of everything. So he puts these pedals on the road bike and rides with those. But we've had a whole bunch of these same XC2 pedals. They are bulletproof. They've been ridden, thousands of miles, Leadville, 3 times through the Boise Trails Challenge, lots of things like that. And in all my training, at some point I bought a second set because I bought a second mountain bike, and then at some point I bought a third set because I bought a gravel bike, and then at some point I bought a fourth set because my kids started riding and needed more. And we were up to the 4 sets, and then my kids started riding the gravel bike and the trainer bike and a road bike, and we were going back and forth, swapping pedals all the time, it seemed like. So I went to order a new set, and I couldn't find anything in stock. I was like, what's going on? And I started doing a little looking, and SRAM has just sort of re-released these ATAC pedals, 3 different lines. So before there was the XC2, the XC4, the XC6, the XC8, and the XC10, and 12. I'm pretty sure it was all of those. There may have not been an 8 or somewhere in there, but there was an XC2, an XC4, and then for sure like an 8, 10, and 12. And they all, admittedly, they're all within a few grams of each other. The upper end ones have an adjustment for tension in there. And if you buy their very top line ones, they were titanium spindles. But the weight difference really wasn't that much between all of them, and I could never justify anything but just buying the XC2s because I never had any issues with them. And you can smash this body into rocks, and it just puts up with it. It doesn't. Just no issues. And they were priced at like $50. So sometimes I'd get them. I'm pretty sure one of the sets I bought for as low as $38. And they were a deal. SRAM has now consolidated the line to just what they're calling the Time ATAC XC, which has specs almost identical as XC2s, but they're $90. They're listing them at 145 grams per pedal. These are 147 So 2 gram difference potentially for an extra $40. And then they've got the XC10s. So, you know, number 10 right here. These are listed at 140 grams per pedal at a price of $135. Or then they have the XC12s that are all like a titanium spindle and body, some gold coloring that's hideous colored, and then they are listed at 120 grams per pedal. So, and they're priced, the XC12s are priced at $250. So to save another 20 grams off of these, you double the price, essentially. I think these list at 150, but I paid 135 for them. But so I actually tried ordering a set of these. I had them in my cart. I put the order through. I got charged, and I got a message from the shop I ordered it from. Oh, never mind, those aren't available. They've been discontinued. I looked. I'm still showing a couple shops, if you just throw Google, showing these in stock at prices of about $46. I couldn't, none of them were a name I recognized, being like in the US, and so, but I couldn't find them from any name brand shop anymore. Like shops I recognized didn't show anything in stock. So I didn't order another set of those. And then they're the XC model, they're new Time XC that are listed at 145 grams and $90. I couldn't find those in stock anywhere. I don't know if they're just too new, haven't made it out there. We really needed more pedals. I needed a set, so I thought, okay, I'll spring for the $135 version, which ends up making these about $100 more than what I think I paid for some of these in the past. And you know, I do now. I've got the tension adjustment. They're black and white. They'll match my bike better than the gray and white. They got a little rainbowy, heat-treated color to them. But do I think it's worth that much extra money over these? No. They should have left these in the lineup at the $50 price, and then maybe add a couple of the others. Skip the $90 version if they didn't want to cannibalize from their own sales. But that's my beef at the moment, SRAM. I'm annoyed that they discontinued what was an amazing pedal priced at just $50. If anybody's interested, you know, so these are the Cleats. The Cleats aren't compatible with any other pedal system. They are reversible, so if you orient them so that this side's to the outside of the shoe, you know, then they're a 17-degree release, and if you orient them to where it's like the other one to the outside of the shoe, it's a 13-degree release. Or they sell a version that is called their Easy Cleat that's a 10-degree release. I've always run the 13-degree position. It's worked well for me. 17-degree just felt like I had to fight a little too much to get out of them sometimes. But I've been very happy with them. I've got them on multiple sets of shoes. They hold up well. I've never had issues. I replace them every couple years. Newer set on some shoes there. And I've got all my kids riding the same stuff, so we can all get on each other's bikes, no issues. But anyway, we you know, at 147 grams per pedal, and these are 140, so I save a total of 14 grams over the set of pedals for essentially an extra $90-ish is about what you're at of what I could find these for, or I guess even retail on these almost to what I found was able to get these for. So definitely, I don't think worth that. We'll see. I'll play with the tension adjustment, see if I decide that's worth more. But somebody's got connections at SRAM. Tell them to bring these back at price point $50. Right? There's inflation and a tariff. Make them 60. You know, somewhere in there.